the biggest thing for them this year is releasing a UI update when everyone was waiting for AI.
I've always wanted customization on iPhone, but I hate when it's like, hey, change all your icons to a color.
I think we're moving into a different world. Apple Liquid Glass, I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, it's out there, but I reckon it's a huge mistake. Let's chat about it.
Well, if you can't see it, it's because they designed it so poorly.
So this is actually really funny because it's developed over the last couple of days. Obviously, they've launched, I would imagine it's a private alpha or beta of these. Usually, like, it's insiders only. You wouldn't be able to access this. So they announced it in iOS 26. Everyone kind of predicted this as part of the old new the Vision OS, but it's just getting absolutely shredded because, like, it's very technical. Like, to implement what they've done, it's not just a Gaussian blur like a lot of people are trying to implement this. Actually, the way the light refracts off the edges of a glass, like, it's actually having a piece of glass there. Very technical. But the problem is the UX. You can see right there, you can barely read that. And people have been shredding it like this, bro.
That's Superbase. That's what we use for our database.
Yeah. So the new Superbase design came out,
Ooh.
which is crazy. But what I want to kind of focus on as well is, like, how can you, like, look, we're talking really early, but how can you as a product developer avoid this?
Oh, is that a real thing? I thought that didn't load. I have a theory, a conspiracy theory.
Go for it.
They've done it in this way and launched it in this way just to get everyone talking about it.
Yes.
Obviously, by the time it's out of beta, the contrast and everything will be better. It's an interesting move if they have done that, because it shows that, like, they're not good at something, which it doesn't seem like Apple to do. But surely this is just to get the hype cycle going.
That would be a very un-Apple thing to do. So I would be surprised if that was the move. I think they're actually generally proud of it, and, like, as a technical thing, very funny. But before we go into it, there was one guy it's spread all over the internet, and which just makes it so funny in the day of AI. But he posted, "I just got fired for developing the Apple Glass," and then all the news outlets picked it up and actually just started posting articles about it. But he's not even, doesn't even work for Apple.
That's
I think his name's John something on Twitter, but it was so funny. Like, it went viral about it.
Awesome.
And he didn't even do it. But, like, see, like, they've actually got glass there. What I just worry about is like people like my parents, right? Like, they've already got their phone on like 50 zoom and like black and white. Like, I'm sure there's accessibility. We'll just turn the glass off and maybe do that, because, like, I don't want it. I don't want this. But there's a few things to talk about here, right? So the first thing is Apple generally know what they're doing. I've seen now a review today, funnily enough, the guy saying, "I've used Apple Glass for 3 days and now I'm in love with it," and he's been, like, vocal about how crap it is.
Ooh, okay.
So it's already growing on him. But another thing that people are saying is they're preparing us for a world where devices don't exist.
Yeah.
Like, it's the UI lives on top of our environment.
Yes.
And this is kind of the stepping stone. So Apple's very good at, like, guiding people through into some future.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and they've done it before. Like, they'll take the hit. Like, I remember iOS 7, no one loved it, but it literally changed how we use iOS. You know what I mean? And even when I talk about it on my channel, I'm like, yeah, iOS 7 was sick. And everyone's like, it was the worst. I'm like, man, I remember it being like the start. You know what I mean? So
tell us about it a little bit, because you've spent a lot more time in the different versions. Tell us, remind us what was different about
yeah, so iOS 7 was the move to flat design. So it reminds me of this because it's taking away a lot of the character. So yeah, it's skeuomorphism, was it, Darryl?
Yeah, before, yeah.
Yeah. I love that I saw that this is just glass skeuomorphism. I was like, jeez. But yeah, iOS 7. That's right. But yeah, iOS 7 was that big.
Oh, yes, I like that.
Yeah, so I was into it too. So it's interesting to me that people remember it as a bad change. And I wonder if it's going to be the same.
Maybe they're forgetting the original one. Like, look at that gradient on the left there.
Oh, dude, it's rough. But yeah, it's funny because glass. This is it, right? This is the new glass.
Yeah, it's just more glassy. But the funny thing also is, like, Windows Vista did this.
Yes.
Right? Like, so people are, like, designing the Windows Vista iPhone, and, like, that was it. That is glass. That's the same. Like, obviously Apple's more technical, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And we all trashed on it. With
Vista was like, Yeah, no one loved that. But look, Microsoft, how many years ago was that?
I think it was 2007, 2008.
2007.
Whoa.
It's like 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years, dude.
18 years. They've
So-
been cranking this.
So Ken, man, you're pretty spicy on it. You don't love it, but do you think we'll just all get used to it? Is that just the play for Apple?
Look, it's hard to know because what's cool about it and what I think is they've done a nice thing is they've unified all the apps. So like our phone, our computer, our iPad, our TV, everything is going to look the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's good as a design system for a company of that size anyway.
Yeah.
Like you have one set of components that you can use across everything. I don't love it. To be honest, like I find it hard to see stuff and I find that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But I think we're moving into a different world. The UI becomes less important.
Yeah.
And it's trying to get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's trying to get out of the way for the AI stuff that you're going to be using. You're going to be talking to these things. You know, if they bring out a pair of glasses, which they
They will, man. Yeah.
they will. Like if Ray-Ban and Meta can do it, Apple can do it. They're just trying to find the right thing. They want to find something that's like, it's perfect. This makes sense.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because that all sounds great, but this looks so bizarre. Like this
And that's
whole,
on their website.
yeah, this is their newsroom release. And I'm like, I get it, but this isn't the best example of what it's meant to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
we
I agree.
can still have icons. But yeah, it makes sense. And even with all of Google's new stuff and their new glasses they released, it is only a matter of time before they're like, okay, no, it just pops up in front of you. But
You know how cool it is though? Because like Frank, my brother, has them and he records like day in the life of with his glasses and it's only at 720p or something now. But like when that gets to higher
yeah,
res, it's Apple, it's syncing straight to your phone.
yeah.
Like imagine the cool content you can make from that. Just
100%.
like that.
The travel stuff, all of that, man. I just want to highlight this. It's pretty sick, dude. To have a whole studio where you just have like life-size versions of the buttons, that's freaking awesome.
It is really
I want that on my wall, dude. Hey, real quick. Our crew's mission is to build the ultimate content OS. Think of it like a single purpose-built place for you to manage all your projects and all your content team. So if you're a content creator, or maybe you make content for other people, check out Clipflow. Turn that chaos into calm. All right, back to the lads.
There's no depth on 2D screens right now. They're designing for the future where everything's 3D. There's two things that I think will possibly come of this. One thing is there was a patent that Apple had a very long time ago, investigating how to get screens to raise based on the content. So like actually physically you could touch, feel where buttons were without interacting.
Okay.
That plus an actual see-through phone. See-through phones have been done, but one with a screen on the top and a screen on the bottom and all of the UI sits on top. It will be much easier to see that as long as you have the parallax of being able to see behind it, which you can see in a lot of their examples. If there is a movement or a thing behind it,
Yes.
or if it's in Vision OS, it doesn't matter. It's incredibly easy to see. And when it's on 2D, it's not. And I think what will happen is the things I like about it are the liquid component of it,
Yeah.
which is what we've seen in the dynamic island where like it grows, it pulls apart and it like does that. That with glass turned off is perfect. It's really good. And it'll just be black or white and the contrast is perfect. Anyone who has a problem won't have see-through glass, but everyone will be ready for this. Like if I have the equivalent of an iPad sitting on my desk here, but it only has the app icons that look like that and I can see through it, perfect. That's going to look great. I'm going to be able to read it and see it. And that's sort of the future. And it'll work on like holographic screens and all the stuff in the future. They're just looking way further forward. There, look at the depth there. If you've got depth, you can see all of the different things there, but when you try and flatten it on a screen, you can't see it as much. I've always wanted customization on an iPhone, but I hate when it's like, hey, change all your icons to a color. I think it just looks weird.
Yeah, too.
Personally, I'm not a fan of it. And the same with liquid glass. If I upgrade, I'll just turn it off.
How
And I definitely won't
look though. Like they showed the desktop customization. It looks so sick. I'm like, I wish I had time to go and customize.
You actually do it.
Yeah, make one of those really aesthetic desktops.
And like, when do you have a time when you have nothing open?
Yeah.
Just like, it looks good. I remember in Windows, you could just, I was like Windows D or something and just close everything. And like, I remember Windows, you'd see your desktop way more. Whereas in Mac, I never do. I don't, maybe because I just
That's
don't
because of the dock.
Yeah.
It used to be all your convenient icons in the top left, so you'd always go back to your desktop to find your most convenient icons, or the start menu, because in the start menu you had to click through a bunch of things to get to applications.
Yeah.
And Mac just has the dock with all of the things that would have been on your desktop. And now I hate when things go on my desktop, like the SD, like you plug a hard drive in and it sits there and you're like, I want to eject you. I don't want to see you.
But Windows had the nice little icons in like you put them in the next to the start button. Remember, you could like customize the shorts there.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll send you a terminal code that I use to get rid of all my desktop icons. So now my desktop is just another folder because I can't see them, which is not good either for the OCD. But yeah, I don't know, man. It looks sick. Seeing some of this stuff, like when I look at that, I'm like, great. It's like iOS 7 plus the current iOS. That's not that bad. It's the fully that. I don't know.
That's only
Go to the
optional.
next
You have
one,
to turn that on, like by demand, to turn all the icons.
That's
Yeah.
sick. So that's sick.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
a fan.
I want my
I like the widgets in the colors to match the thing, but I don't
like
like
this.
the app icons doing that.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
You've lost a lot of personality,
That's
eh? Like if
difference.
you're trying to build an app, you can't stand out anymore because you're all gonna just be the same color.
So true, dude. Yeah.
I mean, everyone uses the more interesting thing I think was Spotlight, because that's how I launch everything.
Yes.
And I also use Raycast, and like Spotlight seems to be doing what Apple does, which is look for the best products that make their software better and then slowly incorporate their best features into it. It looks like they're doing some of that. They're doing like app launching in a nicer way, being able to go in and do a task in an app and stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff is pretty interesting.
It's funny that the biggest thing for them this year is releasing a UI update when everyone was waiting for AI, which is probably a whole nother conversation. But I also think I'm with Daryl, man. I think it's a genius move. I think it's so smart just to be like, here's something completely different, just to make a point and make a statement. But they're still going to have to come back to AI, and they're still going to have to come back to how do we make this usable?
They're gonna do it. They're gonna buy. I guarantee they're gonna buy Anthropic.
Oh, that would be.
I reckon they're gonna just go out and just go, thank you. That's
These
ours now."
guys.
Yeah, you're the best. Thank you. You're now ours. That will happen.
Crazy, man. Well, maybe we'll do a team review once it's finally out. We can all give our honest thoughts on what number are we up to? 26?
Well, they've changed it. It's jumped from like what 11 to
26.
26.
It's like car year models now.
Yeah, legit, dude.
That part was a massive undertaking to get everything across all of the different OS. And like they made their own bed. They made 50 different OSs. But it's nice that they're finally getting them in line. Even if with Glass turned off, everything is more in line. There's more ability to use your phone apps on your computer. That's sick. Yep. And the window mode on iPad, also cool. So they've done some cool stuff. Then
you'll never have macOS
Glass just to get people talking.
But you'll never have file management on your iPad. Yeah, like
yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. Awesome. Excellent.
Boys.
Sick one. Love it.